Hello there. Going back a few years or even a few months, anyone talking about climate engineering or spraying the atmosphere with chemicals would have been branded as a conspiracy theorist. But now, it's official. There has been talk over the years about jet contrails, and theories abound on what chemicals are in them. Are they mere steamy remnants of aircraft engine exhausts, or are they something more sinister, as some postulate? And now we have the UK government entering this space by declaring we will be engaging in geoengineering experiments to offset the effects of global warming by spraying substances into the air to block the sun's rays, just in case the race to net zero carbon emissions is lost before we get to the 2050 finishing post. So this will be a just-in-case sunglasses and sunscreen for planet Earth, if you will. Presumably at taxpayers' expense, or adding more cost to our energy bills as a sort of green subsidy perhaps. Experiments to dim the sun will be approved within weeks, reports the Telegraph. Scientists consider brightening clouds to reflect sunshine among ways to prevent runaway climate change. Well, the chemtrail conspiracy theorists will now be claiming conspiracy fact. And many people who believe this is all a fiendish, anti-human plot will not be happy with any claim about what is in or not in the sprays that are used. And some may just say they are making official and expanding on what they've been doing for decades. But who or which company will be used for this, and where will the atmosphere spraying take place? And The Guardian says that the experiments will be small-scale and rigorously assessed according to Advanced Research and Invention Agency ARIA, the UK government agency backing the plan, and will provide critical data needed to assess the potential of the technology. The programme, along with another £11 million project, will make the UK one of the biggest funders of geoengineering research in the world. And this would be achieved by introducing massive clouds of reflective particles into the UK atmosphere, or by spraying seawater into clouds to make them brighter. And The Guardian shows a handy little graphic of both jets and ships being used to disperse these substances into the atmosphere. And the UK government's Advanced Research and Invention Agency, or ARIA, has set aside £50 million to fund the effort. And for those that remember back to the days of Brexit, ARIA was the brainchild of one Dominic Cummings. Remember him? And the Mail reports that Professor Mark Symes, Programme Director for ARIA, said there would be small controlled outdoor experiments on particular approaches. We have strong requirements around the length of time experiments can run for and their reversibility, and we won't be funding the release of any toxic substances to the environment, he said. But our very own Met Office says on its website, the Met Office does not recommend any atmospheric intervention that involves adding chemicals or substances to the atmosphere, such as injecting aerosols into the stratosphere to reflect sunlight back into space. Interesting. So the government is going to go against the advice of one of its own agencies then, if, as some believe, it hasn't been doing that already. And the Met Office also says there is misinformation on social media suggesting the condensation trails, contrails from high-altitude aircraft are visual signs of attempts to alter the atmosphere or for other nefarious purposes. The term chemtrails is sometimes used to suggest that the condensation contains added chemicals. Despite numerous claims, there is no evidence to support such suggestions. Don't have a go at me, I'm only telling you what the Met Office is saying. But there may be other arms of the UK government that are engaged in such activity, despite the Met Office advice I mentioned earlier. Or is that just a deflecting disclaimer? Now, there are two basic forms of atmospheric modification involved here, as the Met Office goes on to explain. Atmospheric modification could include any attempt to alter the composition of the atmosphere to try to change local weather patterns or affect the climate to curb global temperature rise. Geoengineering is often reserved for those actions which attempt to curb the greatest impacts of climate change, while weather modification is usually taken to refer to those actions, such as cloud seeding, to alter the weather in local areas across short timescales. And the Met Office continues by saying that in some of the drier places around the world, cloud seeding is conducted to induce rainfall. But that the Met Office itself does not conduct any practical or theoretical research into weather modification. The Met Office is also at great pains to say that it only conducts theoretical research into the more extensive field of geoengineering and stresses that it does not engage at all in weather modification. So no real practical experiments at all, just theoretical computer-based experiments on geoengineering. But the UK government body ARIA is going to do these experiments. Now, one assumes the geographical areas ARIA conducts these experiments in will have to be officially approved in some way. And if, as I suspect, the most effective areas to spray these substances would be the more equatorial areas, then I think international agreement would have to be obtained should they see the need to expand the scope of those experiments. Would we end up spraying this stuff over the polar regions in order to stop the claimed receding of the ice? But what would the greenies think about all of this? How many rare species could this affect? Ooh, shock, horror. Oh, and if these substances reflect heat, will they also reflect the heat trying to escape from the Earth back into it? And if these experiments are held in the UK, what will local residents and farmers think about it? Oh, and how about all those solar farms out there? Will they see their profits fall? Will they be demanding compensation? I see lawsuits arising from all of this. And if the Earth's establishment decides that this geoengineering must go ahead, then we will be trying to use the sun's rays to create energy at exactly the same time as we try to block them from reaching us. Ah well. Finally, please like, subscribe and comment below, and a big shout out to our Patreon supporters, and thank you for watching.